Every day is gay day when you're Presley, but on the channel gay day only happens once per week.
Hey everyone, it's PressleyActiveGames.com here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Macy's Day Parade. If you guys haven't heard already, there were Broadway performances at the Macy's Day Parade this year, which is awesome. So there were things like My Fair Lady and Mean Girls did a really awesome performance, but one of the people that performed at the Macy's Day Parade was The Prom, which is an incredible musical if you guys haven't heard of it already. It's a little bit of a smaller musical. It just entered Broadway this November, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was this November that The Prom entered their Broadway run coming from Atlanta. The Prom is a musical about lesbians, pretty much, which is awesome. The Prom is about a woman-woman couple, femme couple. I'm not actually sure how I should say that because there's a lot of different headcanons about the sexualities of the two leads. But there are two girls and they are dating. The two leads are dating and they're both girls. There you go. And so there's the whole plot of the musical pretty much is that these two girls want to go to prom together because they're dating and they're girlfriends, and the prom is threatened to be closed down if they show up at all. So it makes the news that this is happening, and a bunch of Broadway stars get involved, and chaos ensues. And that's the musical. It's a really fluffy and lighthearted musical, and I really enjoy the musical. I love it a lot, and I had heard of it before the Macy's Day Parade, but a lot of people haven't. Anyways, the controversy isn't just that they allowed an LGBT plus musical to perform at the parade. It is that there was an open LGBT plus kiss on screen, on stage. Not sure which one you would use because it's in a staging area and there were people there seeing it, but it was also on camera. Who knows? There was an open LGBT plus kiss at the Macy's Day Parade. And so people were flipping out in both good and bad ways. I see this as a hallmark of a lot of progress that this happened and that this was allowed. This wouldn't have happened 10 years ago, for sure. This would have never happened. There wouldn't have been an open LGBT plus kiss at the Macy's Day Parade, which is one of the most celebrated Thanksgiving events ever, and there are millions of people watching. And so seeing this made me tear up a little bit. It was a really happy moment for me and a lot of other members of the LGBT plus community to see LGBT plus happy couples celebrated, and to see at the Macy's Day Parade sort of say that they are accepting of LGBT plus people and all of that kind of stuff. Macy's has not backed down, hasn't apologized for what happened. They say that they stand by equality, and that is insane to me just because Macy's is a huge corporation. The Macy's Day Parade is gigantic. There are so many people watching, and of course people got outraged. People were upset that there were two female leads who kissed. People were very upset about that, but Macy's has responded with nothing, but we stand by our decision, which is awesome, because sometimes when things like this happen, companies backpedal and they say, sorry, we didn't mean to offend you, we're losing part of our user base, so we should backpedal. But Macy's did not do that, and they stand by their LGBT plus user base, customer base is better. They stand by their LGBT plus customer base more than they stand by people who are upset by two women kissing, and that is incredible. There's been a lot of progress in recent years with the LGBT plus community. Just the fact that the prom can exist and be on Broadway is awesome, and that it is a widely celebrated musical and was allowed to perform at the Macy's Day Parade, especially with kissing. It's awesome, and I am so happy. A lot of the common arguments are, how am I supposed to explain that? Sorry about that. My camera decided to just stop filming because I think I didn't have enough space on the camera. So that sucks, but we're back. Anyways, a lot of the backlash is that we are ruining the innocence of the children by showing them the gays, which is... I don't understand that viewpoint whatsoever. I've talked about this before. I don't understand how showing two people in love, regardless of gender, is ruining a child's innocence. And there's certainly more controversial, terrible things to ruin children's innocence now. There are school shootings, there are a lot, like there's the whole Me Too movement, and there's a lot going on that is more heartbreaking to these kids than seeing two girls kiss. It is an explicit declaration of love and standing with the LGBT plus community right now by a huge corporation, by the Macy's Day Parade, which, again, huge event which is incredible, and it's so nice to be able to see this celebrated and to see LGBT plus people celebrated and to see all of this just be able to happen. There's been a lot of progress in recent years, including, I'm going to mention this book because it's awesome, Hank Green's new book. There are no spoilers, but there's kind of a dysfunctional LGBT plus relationship, which sounds weird to be excited about, like, woo, dysfunctional relationships, but acceptance of LGBT plus relationships has gone far enough that we don't all have to be written like saints. That's one of my pet peeves, because not all LGBT plus people are awesome, and not all LGBT plus relationships end up in a great place. Sometimes LGBT plus relationships are weird and complicated, and sometimes they break up, and sometimes it's weird. And to see that celebrated in a work of fiction is incredible, and to see just the act of two women kissing at the Macy's Day Parade is insane, and I can't stress enough how important it is to me and a lot of other members of the LGBT plus community. It was a huge event, made me tear up a little bit. I really want to go see the prom when it's in Broadway. You should definitely go support the prom, and if you're thinking about seeing a Broadway show, wink. It's a really good show. It's really funny. The show is really well written. There are a lot of very, very talented people that worked on the show, and I would highly recommend it if you're looking for a show to see. You should support the prom because it's smaller and not a lot of people have heard of it, but it is a great way to support LGBT plus people, and you should support Macy's. You should let people know that this is a good thing, because it's important to show corporations, because, you know, regardless of how much they support LGBT plus issues or not, corporations are corporations, and you should tell them that it was a great business decision to include LGBT plus people so that more LGBT plus people show up. Kind of a depressing thing to say for me, that this is a thing that you have to do and it's not enough that they're just supporting, but show your support for this happening, and hopefully more companies will pick up on that and we'll get more LGBT plus representation, because it's awesome, and I'm so glad that this was able to be shown on the Macy's Day Parade. That was kind of a mouthful. That's really hard to say for some reason. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to press that subscribe button down below to see more videos like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.